And joining me to discuss the implication of security is a global affairs analyst, Joshua Onyewere. Good to have you join us, Onyewere. Now, a federal complex.
Thanks for having me.
A federal complex was overrun in broad daylight by protesters with the presence of security personnel. Talk to us about what this means for security now in America.
Well, it means a lot of things. First of all, let's not forget that Trump has been impeached the second time for inciting these rioters. But generally, what this means for America is in a way, it presents a blueprint for American enemies, to carry out potential future attacks, either through electoral process or just through this currently disoriented court followership in the American conservatism.
All right, so you talked about America's enemies, and let's also look at the fact that ISIS and Al-Qaeda are some of America's enemies. And many people say that this sort of proves that America's invulnerability is a hoax. Do you think that this decade could become one of the most turbulent for America in terms of security?
Definitely, it signals these concerns. But let's not forget that in this situation, in this vulnerable situation for America, there are so many. You have the international communities, you have the Congress, you have the political parties, and you have Trump as well, who also is an actor in all of this vulnerability. Why I'm raising this point is because all of these actors have a role to play in order to mitigate the situation. As you can already see, it has shown the American Congress as a strong institution, and also the use of the American military to, destabilize, particularly the FBI, to, go after these rioters. Also indicates that in future we would see similar kind of insurrection, but the American institution will be able to deal with it as they have done, because this not only presents a chaos, but also an opportunity.
When you talk about similar kind of insurrection, security agents are still trying to ascertain what was taken, what was copied, and what was left behind in terms of bugs and listening devices. Does this sort of feel that white supremacy and domestic terrorism?
Certainly. The rioters apparently took some things, but I wouldn't consider it as a major threat to the American democracy, because let's not forget we have the American democracy also at threat here, as well as the international democracy. But locally, looking at America, whatever is stolen, I doubt that will be used as an attack by American enemies. On the contrary, what I think would be, what we should also be looking at is the role social media, because any of this content that probably was stolen or taken from the Congress would be, put up on the social media. So it raises some concerns and also presents an opportunity, for reform the social media companies in how they're going to deal with issues like this moving forward, particularly how they deal with lies, which as you know, Trump used effectively to mobilize and also to rouse the rioters.
All right. Joshua Onyewere, Global Affairs Analyst, thanks for talking to us.
Thank you for having me.